In the world of women's basketball, Caitlin Clark has become a household name. The Iowa star and WNBA prospect has captivated fans with her electrifying performances, sharpshooting abilities, and intense competitiveness. But amidst the praise and admiration, there has been a vocal critic whose remarks have sparked a significant controversy: Cindy Bounson. Bounson, who has a background in sports management and basketball commentary, has recently drawn ire for her outspoken criticism of Clark. While sports analysts and fans often debate the merits and flaws of star players, Bounson's comments have been perceived as more personal, leading to accusations that her criticism stems from an agenda of dislike rather than fair analysis. This has prompted a wave of backlash from fans and commentators alike, with many questioning her motives and the intensity of her remarks. Unlike other notable basketball figures who may critique Clark's game or approach from a technical standpoint, Bounson's comments often seem more emotionally charged. She has publicly questioned Clark's leadership abilities, defensive effort, and even her sportsmanship, areas that are often up for debate but have rarely been attacked so consistently. In some instances, Bounson has implied that Clark is overhyped and not deserving of the accolades and attention she receives. One notable comment from Bounson suggested that Clark's attitude on the court was problematic, claiming that the young star acts like the game revolves around her. While confidence and swagger are often celebrated traits in star athletes, Bounson's remarks seem to suggest that Clark crosses a line from confidence to arrogance. Bounson's criticism doesn't stop there. She has consistently downplayed Clark's achievements, pointing to her high usage rate and team-centric play, insinuating that Clark's success is a product of over-reliance on her rather than genuine talent. This criticism, in particular, has been met with strong pushback from fans who argue that Clark's brilliance in difficult situations, often carrying her team to victory, should be celebrated, not diminished. As soon as Bounson's comments about Clark started gaining traction, a wave of responses followed. Fans of women's basketball, particularly those who admire Clark, were quick to defend the star. On social media, many questioned why Bounson seemed to single out Clark, while other top players in the sport escaped similar levels of criticism. Bounson's tone, they argue, feels more personal than constructive. Some even suggested that Bounson's remarks have more to do with Clark's media profile and popularity than her actual performance on the court. It feels like Cindy Bounson has an issue with how big Caitlin has gotten, like she resents her fame more than anything else, one fan wrote on Twitter. Furthermore, several prominent voices within the WNBA community have subtly addressed Bounson's remarks without naming her directly. A few former players and analysts have emphasized the importance of uplifting female athletes, pointing out that criticism is fine as long as it is rooted in a desire to improve the game, not tear players down. The main question hanging over Bounson's critique is whether her comments stem from genuine analysis or if there's something more at play. Sports is no stranger to polarizing opinions, but when criticism becomes persistent and seemingly disproportionate, it's easy for onlookers to question the motives behind it. Some speculate that Bounson may be attempting to stir up controversy for attention, capitalizing on the polarized opinions around Clark, whose confident and sometimes fiery persona on the court isn't universally loved. Others wonder if it's simply a case of differing basketball philosophies. Perhaps Bounson prefers a more traditional, team-oriented style of play over Clark's dynamic, ball-dominant approach. Whatever the case, Bounson's repeated criticisms have undeniably created a narrative that she is more anti-Clark than an impartial observer. In an era where sports media coverage increasingly focuses on athletes as individuals, this kind of pointed critique is bound to create headlines and raise eyebrows. Bounson's commentary on Caitlin Clark raises broader issues about the way female athletes are criticized in the public eye. While male athletes often receive sharp criticism, it's sometimes handled differently, with more emphasis on athletic performance and less focus on attitude or demeanor. In Clark's case, Bounson's comments have delved into personal qualities that seem to go beyond the typical breakdown of X's and O's. As the debate around Cindy Bouzon's remarks continues to swirl, it raises important questions about how criticism should be levied in the sports world. Is there room for pointed critique without crossing the line into bias or animosity? Can critics like Bounson focus on analysis rather than apparent personal dislike? For Caitlin Clark, who has remained largely focused on her game and not the noise around her, the path forward seems clear. She continues to develop as one of the best young players in basketball, seemingly undeterred by external opinions. As for Bounson, whether she will soften her stance or continue to fan the flames of this controversy remains to be seen. In any case, the ongoing conversation surrounding both Clark and her critics serves as a reminder of the challenges young female athletes face in the public eye, as they balance extraordinary talent with the heavy weight of expectations, both fair and unfair.